Thanks for tuning in again to my Trek 9 Madone build. I'm at the part of the build where I just installed the shift levers onto the handlebars. The shift levers that I'm using are Dura Ace 9001 shift levers. Let me go over real quick the tools that you're going to need. You're going to need a 5mm Allen key. You're going to need a torque wrench to get the clamps at the right torque. You're going to need a flathead screwdriver. It's really helpful to have a Sharpie marker. I'll tell you why in a minute. And also a little tiny wrench. I'll tell you why in a minute. So the real pain here, and what I suggest that you do to mitigate this, is it was very difficult for me to tell when I installed the first one, when you're trying to, cinch everything down and get everything in the right position. It was hard for me to tell if the housing was all the way into the shift lever, because there's kind of a hard stop in here, and I couldn't tell if it was shoved all the way in there. So what I did is on the next one, I actually before I even put this the shift lever on to the handlebar, I took the cables and I just shoved them in as far as they would go. I'm sorry, not the cables, the housing. I shoved the housing in as far as it would go, and I took the Sharpie and I just marked. That way I knew if I was in against the hard stops. And I did that for both the brake housing and the shift housing. Another thing that was confusing to me is that I was under the impression that there would probably be end caps on both the brake housing and the shift housing. That was not the case, and the Madone manual did not specify. Obviously, they don't know what kind of shift levers you're going to use. So I went to the Shimano website and I downloaded the dealer's manual for these shift levers, and they tell you to torque them down to 6 to 8 Newton meters. I went ahead and torqued them down to 6 Newton meters because I didn't want to risk cracking this carbon handlebar. And by the way, the dealer manual also tells you that the end caps, you only put the end caps on the shift housing, not on the brake housing, and it specifies what kind of end caps that you should use. What was this for? This is kind of to help when you're trying to get everything tight and together. This kind of helps that you lightly grab on the housing, and you could shove it in a little bit. Be careful not to crush the housing. That's about it. Thanks for tuning in.